Welcome back to Calm Coding. This is our weekly briefing where we really try to cut through all the noise in cybersecurity.
And get straight to what actually matters, right? The so what of all these security headlines that you're seeing.
Exactly. We focus on the insights you really need. And this week, well, we have a demanding set of topics.
We really do. We're looking at, well, three huge themes. First, a new kind of mobile fraud that's frankly pretty sophisticated with its screen manipulation.
And then there's the sheer scale of financial losses.
Right, the staggering losses from account takeovers and how AI is pouring fuel on that fire. And finally, the state-sponsored stuff.
Which is always fascinating.
It is. We're talking about how groups are using things you'd never think of, like simple window shortcuts and even fake job interviews to get inside major targets.
Okay, let's just jump right in and unpack this. Where do we start?
Let's start with our phones. That's where a lot of the daily risk really lives.
So I saw this thing about a new threat called Albiriox. What is that exactly?
Yeah, Albiriox. It's a big one. It's an Android malware-as-a-service, or MaaS.
And that as a service part is the real problem, isn't it? It means you don't have to be some elite coder to use it.
You've hit it exactly.
Yeah.
It democratizes cybercrime. You just need the cash to rent the tools. And this one is particularly nasty.
Why is that?
It offers the whole package. Complete remote control of a device. It can steal info. But the real trick, the thing that makes it so effective, is that it comes with over 400 hard-coded overlays.
400? Wow. So for anyone listening, an overlay is basically a fake screen, right? It just sits on top of your real app.
It's a perfect digital copy. You go to open your legitimate banking app, your crypto wallet, whatever, and this malware just, bam, throws a fake login screen right on top.
So you don't even see the real app load behind it. You type your password and maybe your two-factor code right into the malware.
And it's gone. Sent straight to the attacker's Telegram channel. It completely sidesteps all the security built into the actual application.
So where are they targeting with this?
Well, the initial campaign was really focused on Austrian phone numbers, but, a tool like this, it's built from the ground up to go global. It's ready to deploy anywhere.
So how do they get it on the phone in the first place? It has to start with some kind of trick, right? Some social engineering.
It relies entirely on manipulating trust. Attackers build these fake landing pages, fake listings for the Google Play Store. They'll even spoof a real business.
Like a grocery store or something?
Exactly. A major European retailer, Penny NY, was one of the brands they were seen impersonating. They lure you to the site, get you to enter your phone number.
And then they text you a link.
A link to an APK file via SMS or WhatsApp. And here's where it gets really clever on the technical side. That first file isn't the real malware. It's what we call a dropper.
Why do they use a dropper? Is that to avoid detection?
It's a fundamental evasion technique. The dropper uses what's called packing to basically hide the real malicious code. So when security software scans it, it looks harmless. Then, once you give it permissions, it downloads the full payload, and it disguises that whole process as just a normal software update.
And that one click on update is the whole game.
That's the point of failure. After that, they have full control. And while it's always hard to be certain, the thinking is that Russian threat actors are behind this, based on their activity on certain forums.
It all comes back to that human element, doesn't it? Tricking someone, which I guess is a good segue into the bigger financial picture. The FBI's numbers on account takeover scams. They're just wild.
They are staggering, and we need to see this as a systematic campaign, not just one-off incidents. We're talking over $262 million stolen from U.S. targets so far this year.
$262 million. That's from over 5,000 complaints, right?
That's right. And it's not just bank accounts. They are going after everything. Payroll systems, investment funds, even people's health savings accounts. It's all fair game.
And the method is still that classic social engineering playbook.
It's almost always social engineering, phishing, fraudulent calls, that classic scam where they call you pretending to be from your bank's fraud department.
Right. We've seen suspicious activity on your account. Please read back the code we just sent to your phone to verify your identity.
That's the one. And people fall for it because it feels so urgent. The moment they have that code, that OTP, they're in. They can reset your password, change your phone number, and drain your funds.
Okay, but what's new here is the AI angle. How is AI making this so much worse?
It's an accelerant, a massive one. AI isn't, cracking the bank's encryption. It's perfecting the lure. It lets even low-skill attackers create these incredibly convincing phishing campaigns and fake websites by the thousand.
We saw that with the holiday shopping season.
We did. Cybersecurity companies spotted over 750 malicious holiday-themed domains that all popped up almost overnight.
Because AI can write perfect, localized text, it can generate convincing brand logos.
Yeah, exactly. It removes all the classic telltale signs like bad grammar or awkward phrasing. It makes the scams look and feel legitimate. And it can automate scraping social media for personal info, your pet's name, where you went to school to guess security questions.
It turns it into a high-speed numbers game. And then there are the purchase scams.
Oh yeah, those are everywhere. Fake e-commerce sites designed just to steal your card details. You think you're buying something, but the product doesn't exist. They just take your payment info and run.
So with all this happening, what's the most important advice, beyond just be careful?
The FBI is really stressing verification. First, check your accounts constantly. Any weird activity, no matter how small, investigate it. Second, always check the URL before you log in. Manually type it if you have to.
And the big one is?
Never, ever give out an MFA code or an OTP on a call that you didn't make. Your bank will not call you and ask for that, period.
That's solid advice. Okay, so we've talked about the high-volume financial crime. Let's shift gears a bit. Let's talk about the spies, the state-sponsored groups. I was reading about a Microsoft flaw that was just patched, but it has a long history.
Ah, yes. The LNK vulnerability. This is a wild story. It's tracked as CDE 2025-9491, and it's a flaw in, of all things, Windows shortcut files.
Shortcut files, you mean the little icons on my desktop that link to a program? How on earth is that a high-severity threat?
It sounds so benign, doesn't it? But the genius of this attack was that it wasn't about the code execution itself, but about how Windows showed you the file. It was a UI misrepresentation flaw.
Meaning what? The user interface just lied to you?
In a way, yes. An attacker could embed malicious commands in a shortcut's properties. But if you, as a cautious user or even an analyst, right-click to inspect it, the Windows UI would hide the malicious part and only show you a harmless-looking file path.
So the operating system itself is helping to trick you. That's unsettling.
Deeply. And here's the kicker. This was being actively exploited in the wild since 2017.
2017. For 8 years, who was using it?
Pretty much everyone. At least 11 different state-sponsored groups from China, Russia, Iran, North Korea. They were all using it. It became their go-to method after Microsoft correctly cracked down on Office macros.
Ah, okay, so that door closed and they had to find a new window.
Precisely. And they found a really dusty old window that nobody had checked in years. Microsoft initially downplayed the risk, but the evidence of widespread espionage became just overwhelming.
That focus on stealth really seems to be the name of the game, like with this Russian-speaking group, Tamiris.
Yeah, Tamiris is a great example of this evolution. They're an APT group that has shifted almost entirely to state-level intelligence collection. They target government ministries, political groups, mainly in Russia and Central Asia.
And how are they staying hidden for so long?
It's all about complexity and blending in. They use implants written in multiple languages, Go, Rust, Python, which makes them harder to fingerprint. And strategically, they hide their command and control traffic inside public services.
Like Telegram and Discord.
Exactly. Why set up your own suspicious server that can be blocked when you can just hide your malicious commands inside the massive encrypted data stream of a popular chat app?
The C2 traffic just looks like normal user activity.
It's the perfect camouflage. It's cheap, it's reliable, and it's incredibly hard for defenders to pick out.
That ability to blend in is terrifying. Which brings us to maybe the most creative social engineering story I've heard in a while. The North Korean Lazarus group and their malicious interview tactics.
This one is just, it's next level. It's a remarkable intelligence operation. Researchers basically set a trap. They got these North Korean hackers who were posing as recruiters to use what they thought was a legitimate developer's laptop.
But it was a sandbox environment, so they were being watched the whole time.
The whole time. And they saw the entire playbook unfold. Lazarus will actually hire real, skilled engineers to be the public face of the operation.
Or the front men.
Exactly. These guys do the interviews, they do the coding tests, they get the job, and they get cut of the salary, maybe 20 or 30%.
Yeah.
But in the background, the Lazarus operators are using the legitimate access that person gained to get deep inside the company's network.
And what tools are they using once they're in? Is it some super advanced custom malware?
That's the surprising part. Their tool set was pretty limited, but very potent. They were using off-the-shelf stuff, browser-based OTP generators, AI automation tools, and even just Google remote desktops.
So they're just using legitimate software to maintain their access.
Why build a custom backdoor when you can just use Google's own tools?
Yeah.
It doesn't trigger alarms. It's all about blending in. And this whole operation just confirms what intelligence agencies have been warning about for years.
You know, when you pull it all together, the fake app overlays, the 8-year-old shortcut flaw, this insane fake job scam, it all comes down to deception, doesn't it?
It really is. It's about exploiting our trust in an app, our trust in the operating system's UI, our trust in a job recruiter. And that's a vulnerability that's getting harder and harder to patch.
Especially with AI making the deception so much better.
That's right. The technical sophistication is only accelerating, and we have to remember that nation-state actors will always be looking for those subtle, seemingly harmless flaws in the systems we use every single day.
Well, thank you for joining us for this essential briefing on calm coding. Staying informed and questioning those basic assumptions is, well, it's really your best defense.
Absolutely. And I'll leave you with a final thought to chew on for the week. We just talked about how state actors were able to weaponize a common Windows shortcut file for 8 years without a fix. So, what other seemingly harmless fundamental function in your operating system might currently be silently compromised by an espionage group seeking long-term, low-profile access?
On that cheerful note, we'll be back next week with the latest security briefing. Stay safe out there.